What's up, everybody? This is another JK rant. I just want to talk to everybody and talk about what I see is happening in this world. I want to know if people really realize what's happening in this world. Why I do so much comedy is because comedy is like the only thing that we have left, and one of the only things I have left, although I need a break, because I can't control if I get a movie made. I'm going to do a couple movies in August, a couple little parts, cool little indies, TV shows have all these mandates now that I just don't, I don't know if I'm going to do them. I have to do the right ones. I do Funny You Should Ask. But in terms of just like being able to just go out and get a job, I've always been a self-starter, but like the writer's strike is happening. The actor's strike is looming. SAG has already agreed to strike if it happens. Wow. So the only thing we got left, I think, is right now is live entertainment. And people want to listen to comics more and more. They want to listen to podcasts. They want to listen to unfiltered opinions more and more. That's all I do is I get up. I want to say, what's really happening today? What's really going on in the world? I don't know. I'm starting to look more and more like stuff is all escapism is just distraction. And listen, I provided some of the greatest escapism, and it's okay to escape. It's okay to watch something and just completely zone out. I don't think that we should make it a steady diet, all right? Because there's a lot of stuff happening in the world, and I don't think it's true. It's true that people really are distracted. That's just it's a real statement, it's crazy. First of all, Hollywood is being so disrupted. I know the writer's strike is happening, and I know people think it's just going to get solved. It's not going to get solved that easy, okay? All media is disrupted. There's a huge disconnect between the CEOs and what they're getting paid, and then the amount of money that the staff is getting paid. And then investors have lost billions on paper. So you know how that goes. But on a bigger scale is that I just think the world is being so disrupted, and I don't think people realize what the next 3 years is going to look like. By the time I'm 55 years old, it is going to be so fragmented. And so, first of all, just as a general note, nobody wants to work. People are done working. They're done being, slaves to the system, a cog in the wheel, which I understand. And that's good. People should go and try to do and have a fulfilling life. That is good. But also, dude, people are okay with you not working because automation is coming, AI is the biggest thing that everyone should be talking about every day. That's it, just AI. But people are talking about so much other stupid shit. AI is the biggest, I don't want to say threat, the biggest thing to happen to our existence, possibly in the history of our species. I was looking at Dunkin' the other day, and it was actually a good Dunkin' in Florida. It was cute, and it was a nice little hut, and the employees were not that attentive, but more attentive than most Dunkins, and they were literally paying. They have the table set up for people to say, hiring now, and it says a pen, and it says this, and then it says meeting right after you fill this out. $13 an hour and $100 signing bonus, meaning they'll take anybody barring you, you can fucking don't shit in your hand, right? That's insane. It used to be competitive to get a job, even a low-end job. Quite frankly, if I wasn't myself, I like places like Dunkin' and Domino's, and I worked at those places. I could have seen myself moving up, and managing a Dunkin' and then becoming a district manager. I like that stuff. I don't know if I could fit in the corporate culture, probably not, but I loved working at Domino's. I loved it. I had a cool boss. I was 18 years old. I was able to hustle my tips. There was a little ecosystem within Domino's. At the end of the night, I get a free pizza. We'd have beer. I was fat, but it was cool. I was in charge of my own destiny. I didn't have to go to college to make money. I could make $700 in a week for an 18-year-old in the late 80s. That's pretty good, And that's what I see with these jobs. So I've always had that hustle culture mentality because I had to, because I wasn't going to be, I was I don't want to have a ceiling on my pay, right? That's why I love comedy. Yeah, you can get a ceiling on a corporate gig or a college gig, but if I'm selling at a place, they'll just add another show. I can keep going, So it's I like to believe in myself. And so I'm just looking at this and I'm all this Domino's is just going to be automated. We already know that. I see the bots around LA now. These delivery bots for Postmates. There was 2. Now there's 7. Isaiah. They're very inclusive names too. There's another one. There's a Middle Eastern bot. I'm not kidding you. Like, but the names are very, like, there's a Jeffrey, and then there's like a Abdullah. Like, there's like 7 different bots, and they're really good. And they made them all cute. It's everything you think was a science fiction dystopia before they rise up. So that's happening. I'm ready for a non-driverless car. That's gonna happen. So deliveries are already getting disrupted. Cars are almost gonna have driverless soon. Okay. I go into places like California Chicken Cafe. You can barely sit. You can't even sit in there. You can barely sit outside. We should be a restaurant. Those workers are going to get less and less, right? It's going to be automated. So think about that across the, wing stops. I'm talking about all this, basic, simple jobs. If lawyering, doing contracts will be disrupted quicker than a wing stop, because you got to lift the wings and stuff, where contracts can just be devised through just writing. So what am I saying? I'm trying not to mumble here, but basically, jobs are going to go away, as you know. I mean, if you follow anything with the World Economic Forum, they talked about this. They talked about the useless class. I've talked about this. I don't think people are really prepared for it. I think people are too busy, drinking their favorite White Claw, looking at the NBA, and all that stuff is fine if you don't make it a meal. Because I'm just telling you, I'm watching. Here's what I see. Commercial real estate is going away. On Sunset, I said this before, I'll say it again. The amount of for-lease sales on buildings that were legacy buildings to non-legacy properties is insane. That's why I'm waiting to buy something, because I want to buy like a building and make it like a live-work loft. The world is fucking changing so much, and I go to cons all the time. People literally want to basically, they want to OnlyFans, they want a Patreon, they want a Twitch live stream. They want to, Audible. And that's good. Like, write short stories or podcast or whatever, or make their own movies. That's fine. Be creative. Everything's going to be automated, from pizza delivery to chicken wings to coffee to your bills go online. And people want to identify as kittens and beach balls and dragons and all different types of things. And it's like playtime, make-believe, escapism. And that's where we're headed. I see it. I go to cons. I see more and more people coming to cons from all walks of life to get their freak flag on. True devourers of the culture of horror and science fiction. And then just people that are like, this is my escape. I'm an accountant and I want to escape, and I'm going to get crazy on the weekend. And that's okay. But they don't want to go back to the Monday morning, and they're not going to have to. The issue is the rich are getting richer, and the poor are going to get poorer. So the squeeze is happening right now. Right now. Like, ABC just announced a strike-proof schedule to the end of 2023. Dancing with the Stars. They'll do more of that. They just added another Bachelor. I know CBS's reality department is working overtime. Nexstar just bought the CW. They're all about low cost programming that they can just keep pumping out. So people just want to put stuff out, like cooking shows and house rebuilding shows and dating shows and all that stuff that just people will consume and take in their fucking eyes. And, if the margins are there, they're going to keep doing it. Do I think you still have to make Killers of the Flower Moon? Of course. Super Mario 2? Of course. I don't know what's going to happen, though. I think there's going to be a tier system in the WGA or something, because a lot of people I see picketing, there's some big writers, but, there could be a lot of writers on the fringe here, just like a lot of actors on the fringe if you don't make X amount of money every year. So, and that's just our business. That's just one business. That's just Hollywood. I'm watching it, the restaurant. Like, if you go to TikTok, do you see how many food bloggers there are now? It's insane. I don't know if they're trying to make their own name or they're just habits, but like, restaurants are popping off because that's like an event, Live events are popping off because that's like an event, right? Music, that's fine. Comedy, because it's truthful, and escapism, sure. Sports. I just see so many things. I go into so many places and I see the automation happening, and I see people not realizing it. And I see, just yesterday I was at this coffee bean and it was loaded with people. on computers, and they're probably like, some of them are out of work writers, So, and if you notice, I don't know if you're outside of LA, but I definitely know LA I've never seen this amount of construction. They're taking every fucking corner. The 15-minute city is real. Like, I live in a complex right now, and I love it. Now, is it going to be my permanent home? No, but it's fucking amazing. I have a grocery store that's high-end. I have a yoga studio. I have a stretch studio. It encourages people to influence. Everything I need within this area. I can take a Lime, go down the street, go to my clubs if I need to do my sets, and that's it. If I'm going to shoot something, it's usually out of town. I do a live appearance, it's usually out of town. I'm on a plane. Boom. Zip, 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 zip. And that is our world. That's going to be for many different jobs. And if you look at LA right now, it is becoming less of a house and more of it is becoming like a serious, like, I'm telling you that, I got to get Eddie Bravo on here, but he's like, they want us all in our little fucking tin cans with our Wi-Fi and our digital currency. It's true, because they can keep an eye on us. And it's a way to control people. And you go, well, what are you talking about? Why are you talking about this control? Basically, why would you want to control people? I'll tell you why. Because the biggest shift is happening in my lifetime and possibly in this history of humanity where, they say 150 people rule the world and the rest of us are bitches. Like, that is happening. And really those 150 people will really have, they'll have these systems in place where they don't need human workers. Like, that's what we're trained to do since we're a young age. We get up, we are indoctrinated into a system of beliefs, of religion or not, of schooling system, and then you're going to get school, and then you're going to go to a college, and then you're going to get a job, and then you're going to get married, and you're going to have kids, and then they're going to repeat it. It's just literally like this system, this loops. That's why Westworld, Anthony Hopkins, in the end of the first season, gives it a beautiful speech. And he talks about how robots are on a loop. And he says, aren't human beings on some sort of loop? Like, I don't know if I did that impression right, but he's like, wouldn't you say we all have our loops? And it's true, like going to the store back every day, going to the same coffee shop we're on loops. I'm trying not to mumble, but basically what I'm trying to tell you is the reason people at powers that be want to keep an eye on us is because people are going to start realizing the money's not the same. The jobs are not going to be as easy to get. The greedy are going to get greedier, and the broke are going to get broker. People are like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, this ain't right. And the natives are going to get restless, and people are going to rise up. So how do you control them? Well, you fucking fuck with their digital currency. You take their fucking car away. How do you do that? Maybe it's electric. Maybe you shut it down. I'm just saying, this is what I'm seeing happening. That shit is all real. ChatGPT is progressing like bananas. Here's the recipe. Nobody wants to work. They want free money. The money's going to dry up because it's all paper anyway. So much of it is not real. If you notice, more and more people can't afford homes. They don't want you to afford homes. People like BlackRock and such are buying these huge, massive lots, and they're buying all the houses up, and they're putting these big, like, fucking live, work, play places in one section. And, people are desperate for low-end job help right now until it's automated. No one wants those jobs. And I'm just saying, overnight, the idea of being on the nipple, people get canceled because they're on the corporate nipple, and the corporate nipple cuts them off. Like Matt Lauer got canceled because he was on a very big corporate nipple, which was NBC. He got cut off. But creators on Patreon that are making $100,000, $200,000 a month aren't on that nipple. They're on the nipple of the human that likes them. It's a different nipple. It's still a nipple, but it's like there's a lot more forgiving with peer-to-peer payment than it is at corporate. And all I'm saying is we're all going to get canceled because this shit is going down. And I don't know. I just see it every day when I'm traveling in different cities and I'm watching stuff, and I'm seeing escapism get bigger, which people should enjoy their life, but as long as you have your life together, you got to get your ducks in a row. That's all I've been doing for the last 4 years. Getting all my ducks in a fucking row. Trying to get my shit streamlined. This is just a little baby rant to tell you that all that shit's real to me. All that shit is real. You will own nothing and be happy is a very real statement. By the way, I love using Limes. I love using Uber. I love using Airbnbs. I love all that. Just as long as I could keep my money, you know. I was with one of the banks that collapsed. I was with FRB. I'm still with them. And it's crazy that hasn't affected me yet. But they're just quietly being taken over by Chase. A very big banker yesterday told me there's only going to be 4 banks. Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and Citi. And that's it. All these regional banks are done. They're already talking about another bank that could go down. So this is just my opinion. I think shit's going to get weird. Live your life, but make sure you have a little place that's secure for yourself with the right amount of stuff that's secure. You know, a little bit of food and stuff like that. Make sure you have a little cash on hand if you can. If not, make sure you have some collectibles, gold or silver, but also Funkos and other shit like that. People love that shit. I really do think shit's going to get crazy. It's been crazy. Maybe I'm paranoid. We'll see. But I've just been seeing it. I just see more and more. The office space is dead. It's crazy. And it was just not here. It was here. It was in San Francisco. Even in Florida, where it's a much different temperature out there, literally, you know, mentally, politically. I did see a lot of big warehouses that said for lease in a very chill part of Florida. So I was like, damn. And things are being automated. But there's also just these jobs are going away. So, you know, I know New York City's like that. I'm going to go there this week. I'm going to go to Philly just to get the vibe. But that's my 2 cents. Listen, like, subscribe. I'm trying to get the channel up. We'll figure it out. Peace.